We're ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do this. Dwana, welcome to Boss. Boss is my exciting new LinkedIn video content series where I interview my amazing badass executive network to learn, network, and pay it forward in this crazy new normal. Who is Dwana Franklin Davis, the CEO of Reboot Representation, in a 30 to 60-second Boss elevator pitch?
All right. I am the CEO of Reboot Representation, where I bring together a coalition of leading technology companies, and we pull their philanthropic dollars together to work towards our goal of doubling the number of Black, Latina, and Native American women graduating with computing degrees by 2025. I'm also a compassionate leader, wife, mom, and boss.
Yes. Tell the world how we met, because I think it really plays into everything that you just said as well.
Yes. Allie, you're one of my COVID friends. So my definition of COVID friends, because that's apparently a term only I use, is someone that you've met during the COVID timeframe. So that obviously has like a very clear time frame in people's heads. And we've met only virtually. We've never actually hung out in person, but I feel like we've known each other forever. We met in June during a Let's Talk series, and we were side chatting about the Sesame Street CNN series on racism, anti-racism, because we both have little kids about the same age.
So let's kind of take it back a little bit, right? Pre-COVID, kind of last X number of years. How did you get to where you are? You are a powerhouse CEO. Like, where did your boss network come from?
Obviously, I've worked really hard, but I'm Black, and my grandmother, like many other people of color, many other immigrants, their elders have told them that you're a person of color. You have to work 2 or 3 times hard. My grandmother said 3 times as hard as everyone else to be seen as equal. So working hard is not enough. I think that's a given. In addition to working hard, it's also about being able to amplify the fact that you're making achievements, that you're successful. So who knows that? And so who's in your network? Who are your allies? Who are the people who are your sponsors and speaking for you on behalf of the things that you're doing that are greatness in rooms that you don't have access to? So I've had the fortune of having all that. I've had a long journey through the tech industry prior to being the CEO of Reboot. And I had mentors, champions, coaches, and sponsors, and I collected them along the way.
Yes. You are actually the second interview that I've done where the individual mentioned their grandma's
in tech.
In your opinion, what are the most important leadership qualities for executives today?
So executives need to be strategic and innovative. They need to be able to listen and learn, always be learning, be open and flexible to change. Because right now, especially, change is constant.
On a note where we need more change, the world needs more women and diversity in tech, data, and leadership roles. Fact, the new 2020 Global 500 list came out. Only 13 out of 500 are women. There are no women of color on that list. Speak to me about these stats.
It's ridiculous. Is the only thing that can really be said about it. So we have to hold companies and organizations accountable for making real and impactful change. So there's already the work that has been done with regards to what are best practices for women and specifically women of color with regards to them rising through organizations. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to do another study. We don't need to do another white paper. We just need to put in the work. And there has to be real and intentional investments of time, talent, and treasures. I love saying time, talent, and treasures because it means so many tangible things. And that's going to actually move the needle forward.
Yes. Talk to me about all of the people who are unemployed right now, who have been furloughed, who are looking at what's next, career pivots. Like, what's your advice?
Know that you can look, and there's companies that are still hiring, but you can expand your reach and your search with regards to who you're searching for. Another good thing is that companies, especially right now, given all that's happened, are looking for qualified, diverse talent. So that's a lot of people that are out of work right now. So embrace your strengths, know how to amplify them, tap into your networks, expand your reach with regards to the region where you're searching, and it's work. It's a job looking for a job.
Yes. Dear tech companies, tell me
Yeah.
about your launch.
Dear tech companies. So Dear Tech Companies launched yesterday officially, and that's my passion project. And unofficially, it launched in June when we were seeing so much racial inequity happening in the world, and felt all the feels that every other Black person across the country was feeling with everything that we were seeing on TV and everything that was happening in our communities. And then I got infuriated when I started seeing the insolidarity statements. And for those that don't know, that was all companies that were in solidarity with the Black community, blah, 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 yada, yada, blah. So you can't be in solidarity if you only have 2% Black people. Show me what you're doing. What is your plan? What are the real and tangible actions that you're doing to make your organization more equitable, make your communities that you serve and that you're taking money from, that you're prospering off of. It really focuses on the issues in the tech space. And it's not just complaining, it is providing real, tangible strategies and solutions for companies to look to move the needle forward while investing in the meaningful solutions leading to drive impactful change, while we're working to increase representation, specifically of Black, Latina, and Native American women in the field.
Amazing. I love this so much. I feel like I could ask you 500 more questions on this, but I have to cut this down to 10 minutes. Melinda Gates is behind like these things too, right? Like you have some powerful friends who are helping with this.
So I will have to say, Dear Tech Companies are my own words, and I'm not trying to get in trouble by the powers that be. In the case that I say something they don't necessarily agree with, but if you feel called out, then you should. So yes, Reboot Representation was born from Pivotal Ventures, which is Melinda Gates' incubation nonprofit organization. And we have a coalition of the best tech companies. And these are companies that have put their money where their mouth is and said, yes, we're raising our hand. We want to improve what the future of technology looks like. And there was a report that was done in the summer of 2018. And that report looked at what companies were spending their philanthropic and CSR dollars on, and found that two amazingly sad numbers were those companies were only spending 5% of their money on women in tech and less than 0.1% on women of color in tech. So you can't say that you don't have anybody of color or women in your workforce when you're not spending any money on it. Back to my time, talent, and treasures. So that's why Reboot Tech Coalition exists.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. You got to put some money behind these things to show that you are truly committed. Switching gears slightly, for working parents, both of us, back to school is happening now, whether we like it or not.
How long do we have? No, I am very fortunate in recognizing my place of privilege and stating that my kids are going back to school in person. School is small, classes will be extremely small. Parents aren't even allowed in the school anymore, so the school is doing it great. And so my advice to my kids is wash your hands often and keep your mask on. And I got to send them to school with 5 masks a day so they can swap them out and all that kind of stuff. So my school's doing it right. They're going to be safe. I'm not worried in that sense. For parents, and this is advice that I have to take myself as well, and I'm still reminding myself, I had to say it on my way out the door today, is do not be too hard on yourself when everything is not perfect, because it's not going to be perfect.
It's never going to be perfect. Brave, not perfect.
Ooh,
what is the most important skill that leaders need for the future of work in one word?
Agility.
Name your career role model or favorite boss.
Pat Smith Thurman.
Favorite programming language.
Java.
Book that everyone needs to read.
The First 90 Days by Michael Watkins.
One thing you'll commit to do in 2020 to pay it forward.
My job.
What do you want to be known for over the next 6 to 12 months?
I want to be a change agent for equity and inclusion. I'm excited to be part of your amazing network of badass boss women.
Everyone should watch every week. I know, it's amazing.